Hi everyone, welcome back to day 24 of the 30 days Power Query Editor Challenge. Yesterday we explored parameter. Today we are diving into a very practical skill, and that is how to manage source setting in Power Query. This is especially useful when your file moves to a new folder or a new location, when you move your file from one folder to another. So why data source setting matter? Every time you connect a file to a file or to a folder or to database in Power Query, Power BI, Power Query remembers the path or connection details. So if the file gets moved or renamed or stored on a different drive, your queries will break unless you update the data source setting. So this is the reason why we are going to be treating this. So before we go into Power Query Editor, if this is your first time, kindly take a moment and subscribe to my channel, and also put on the notification setting so that you can receive update from all the tutorial that we share every week. And also you can also click on this Power Query Editor 30 days Power Query Editor challenge so that you won't miss any of the days challenge, and try to check all the videos that we check. You can explore our page because we have different video tutorial that will help you improve your skill. So now we move into Power Query Editor. So if every time you connect to a folder, your data change, in Power Query, your query will break if you move that particular folder into another folder. So until you update your data source changes, you will have issue with your query. So now let's take this as an example. This is my data source. For you to get your data source, this is this particular folder now. So let me check, go to home tab, then click on data source setting. So now this is my data source. This data source is stored into this download, and a particular folder in a download. So now let me close this. If I go back to my folder and now change this, I change this data set, I move this data set from here. I want to cut it out now, and I will just change it to this place. Let me just paste it here. I paste it here, and I go back to refresh it. I refresh this. Now that I've refreshed this, you can see where I refresh it, still in home tab beside this manage parameter, refresh view. If I refresh this, you can see that my data is telling us that data source not found, file or folder not find. It's either the file has been removed or changed or deleted. Now, if you want to update this now, if I want to, let's assume now, okay, I want to update this particular folder. I want to update the data source. How do you go there? So all I will need to do is go to data source setting. Data source setting. Once I go to data source setting, then I will click on change data source. Change data source. Then I'm going to browse through, and then I will go to where I already put that data source, where the new folder I put it, which is this place. This is the data source. Then I will click update and close. Once I've closed, I'll come back to my refresh, then I will refresh all. You see now that our data source has been refreshed. It's back. Our data is back because our new data source we've updated it to our new data source. We've updated it to our new data. So the query now refreshes successfully and it's giving us back our data in the Power Query Editor. So now the tips and best practices: always keep your data source organized in a shared folder. Also use parameter. You can decide to use parameter for source path. Also useful, so you can decide to use parameter for source path, and always make sure that your data sources are in an organized or shared folder. So today we've learned how to understand why data sources are important, fix a broken source path, and also switch to a new folder without redoing all the query. Now is your turn. Take the data set I provided, load it from a folder A, then switch the source to folder B so that you can use your source using data source setting. And don't miss tomorrow's video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Bye for now.